Alrighty. Thought I would jump on for a nice New Year's stream. Just a quick one. Probably do an hour or so. But yeah, just wanted to run through what my plans are for tomorrow. I will also be posting a video tomorrow once I'm in my trade, but I just wanted to do a stream tonight for you guys just to update you on what I'm going to be doing as far as tomorrow goes. So if you haven't known already, I'm going to be going into Netflix tomorrow. So right now, where the price is at, 486 currently. I'm looking to enter Netflix at around the 505 strike. Maybe I'll do a 47 delta. We'll see. We'll see where we're at by tomorrow. I do plan on entering in the morning, maybe about 30 minutes into the open, probably around 10 o'clock. I don't like to get involved with the morning volatility, but usually by 10 o'clock things start to settle down, but there may be a little bit more trading tomorrow since it's the first day of the month. A lot of money's moving around tomorrow on the markets. The volume may be a little bit higher, so volatility may be a little bit higher. So we'll see. But it's only one day. And yeah. So let's do a rundown. I don't want to remove all my drawings, but let's remove that. Do this on a weekly. Kind of get a good idea of where we're at right now. So this is Netflix on the weekly. I have two zones marked out right now. Between 482 and 556. As you can see, these two levels have been respected in the past. And we just broke into it, closed above it last week, well, 2 weeks ago, and this past week. So we're starting to get closes within this area. We could reject, but we do have Netflix seasonality in play right now. So right now we have Netflix at a 70% 70% win rate for January. Yeah. Past couple of years it hasn't been doing as well. So we'll see. But we'll see. Yeah, it's looking like it wants to go higher. Listen, the whole market's going up right now, and Netflix, of course, it's a big market cap, so it's going to be right alongside all the big names. So, but I'm watching this zone, and we will see what happens. Again, I'm going to be entering tomorrow, so that would be January 2nd, and I will be holding it until January 31st. Now, we do have a little bit of an interesting thing playing out here with Netflix. We have earnings on the 23rd, so that's going to be interesting to see. Hopefully we get a good earnings and good guidance, and Netflix goes higher. So yeah. Right now I am listening to my Roomba robot vacuum cleaner get stuck on a carpet above the floor, or the floor above me, and it's making a horrible vibration. Hopefully you guys can't hear it, but it's really annoying. But yeah, so Netflix, we got that. Again, I'm going to be posting a video on it tomorrow. I think I've emphasized it enough. And then, yeah, the other two picks that I have right now are Fang and Marvel. These are the smaller dollar amount plays. So if you haven't seen that video, you know, that's these two right here. That's the other two picks. Right now, those options are looking like they're going to be around $600 for Fang and about $300 for Marvel. So that's that. And again, right now, let's see where those are at. 46 delta, yeah, 225 for Marvel, and then Fang is gonna be around 440. Hey DC, Riot blockchain. All right, let's go check that out. Yeah, I mean crypto is another one of those plays. Let's see. Let's see, Riot. I'm sorry if you guys hear noises in the background, but you may not even hear it at all. But yeah, so Riot the past 20 years. Am I on the right symbol here? Riot platforms? I thought you were talking about Riot blockchain. Or am I thinking about a different? Hold on. Riot platforms. Oh, okay. Isn't there a Riot blockchain too? Or am I thinking about something else? Yeah. What do these guys do again? Yeah, Bitcoin mining. Okay. I thought I was losing my mind for a second. But yeah, Riot. Let's see. Let's go to like the past 10 years. 5. 1, 2. Yeah. Riot the past 5 years. I mean, that's pretty good for 5 years. Again, I like to go with the longer term. Like 10 years is usually my minimum. 50%. Although right now Bitcoin's rallying, right? Bitcoin's going up right now. Hold on, let me widen this out a little bit. Also, let me put this to full screen so you guys can see it a little bit better. But right now Bitcoin's going up, right? So yeah, Bitcoin's making new local highs. Still has a ways to go to get to the new highs, but right now Bitcoin's running up nice, so Riot blockchain may be a good play. And I'm pretty sure Riot was a good play for December, right? I think we looked at that for December. 23%. I think it was this one. I'm pretty sure maybe it was a different one, but I don't know. I look at so many different stocks, I lose track of what's what. But again, this is a highly volatile stock, right? You got a $3 billion market cap, so small. That's a small market cap in actuality or compared to other stocks. So with that being said, and look at the beta too. The beta is 3.82, so it's a high beta stock. So high beta stock with a low market cap. Guess what? You're gonna have 12% down days, and you're gonna probably have. I mean, let's look at this on a daily, right? I mean, you're gonna have days where you go up 8%, 4%, right? 6%. So there's a lot of volatility locked into this. And of course, with that volatility, look at the implied volatility on here on the options chain. I mean, you're talking 142% IV. That's extremely high, very, very high. So the premium on these options are extremely high. They're expensive. So if you have a collapse in volatility, if IV goes down, you're going to lose a lot of money to IV crush. All right, it was marathon for December. That's right. Yeah, I remember us looking at something else that did very well in December. I think the contract that we were looking at, or with my own, the way I would have traded it would have went up like I think 1,000%, right? So, and I think you caught part of that move. But yeah, listen, Riot could definitely go up in January. But it's risky, right? And that's why. I mean, any even like my play with Netflix or Fang or Marvel, LOI. I mean, any play can be risky. So as long as you manage your risk, right? The good thing about Riot is one call contract. Let's say you're buying at like a 47 delta, $216. Still, that's a lot of money. I'm not trying to downplay the size of that position, but compared to other options, other symbols out there, I mean, this is a relatively cheaper call option that most people can interact with. So yeah, I may even put on like a little juicer play. I like Marathon. Marathon, I feel like the IV's a little bit lower. Oh no, it's actually higher. I should take that back. And it's similarly priced, a little bit more expensive, but Marathon, I kind of like. Let's see how it did for 60. I mean, like Marathon, yeah, again, like, if you have one good month with Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's been doing good each month, these stocks obviously are going to do better when Bitcoin's going up. So right now, putting on a call option on Marathon or Riot may be a smart move. Maybe. So, but again, it's risky. So whatever play you do, whatever you decide on, make sure you manage your risk, right? Like take the amount that the contract is, or take your account total. Let's say you have $10,000 in your account, right? Take 5% of $10,000, right? So if you do 5% of 10,000, right? 10,000 times 0.05, it's $500, right? That's the amount you should be willing to lose completely on a trade. So make sure you use proper risk management and position sizing, because if you don't, you're going to make rash decisions, right? I had someone else, I forgot what I think it was Newmont Gold. I think they put a trade on NEM, this guy right here. They put on this trade and it went down. This is a gold mining stock. Let me remove the drawings here. He put on a trade right here on November 30th. It went down. The stock went against him 6%. Actually more, 7% at its lows. And then within one day, it was flat, basically flat. And then before you know it, by the end of the month, the stock was up 3% for the month. And I think he would have made money. I think he would have made money on this if he held, or at the very least, he would have been flat or slightly down on his position. And he sold down here because he was down more than 50%. And, I personally, for me, like with options, I don't really like to use stop losses because options are so volatile. I think the amount of money you put into an option right off the bat is what you should be willing to lose. You should not be using, I get why people like to use stop losses, and I think they are necessary for certain financial products, but at least for options, if it's too much money off the bat for your account, go look at a different stock. Like there's thousands of other stocks out there with equal or better opportunities behind them for a much cheaper price. Because if your risk is too high, your mental like not your mental capital, but your decision making is you put yourself at a disadvantage as far as decision making goes, because you're thinking about the amount of money you're losing. And like for me, when I lose, like I had 2 losing months since I started my YouTube channel, Apple and LLY, Eli Lilly. And guess what? Like I'm still going. I'm on to the next month. I'm looking forward to Netflix. And you know what? Netflix I may lose too. And if I lose this one, I move on to the next stock. Like you just got to keep pushing ahead and have enough money in your account to live another day. So risk management's everything. I like your Netflix play, but I'm going with Roku, Riot, and maybe you, PLTR, or PanW for short 2-week plays. Nice. Yeah, I mean, if you see those opportunities within those stocks, go ahead. And yeah, if you make money with them, if you're looking to make money or swing them over a 2-week period or a 1-week period, you do you. I mean, like, I want you guys to take my strategy or a part of my strategy and run with it and create something on your own. I think that's way better for yourself. I think that's actually how you'll learn. So yeah, I mean, it's a good play. You use Unity. Okay, yep. Let's check out this one because I know this stock. I guess are you using, all right. Let's look at this stock for a moment because I don't want you getting hurt on this one. First of all, can you, just looking at this chart, now, first of all, we're looking at, I'm assuming this is for January, a 2-week play. And you may make money on Unity. First of all, there's no seasonality over, I mean, this stock only has 4 years of data, to be fair. But let's see, last year it went up, 2 years, no. So seasonality is really not there, but that's okay. You don't need seasonality. Seasonality isn't the end all be all. I like to use it because I think it puts the odds in my favor by a decent amount right off the bat. But the one thing I would look out here for is look where this price rejects. Around $40, $41. Oh, you're looking at puts? Okay. I was going to say, be careful with this because this stock, I'm just looking at this right here. This stock likes to reject above. I mean, it could go to $50 or $60, but it tends to peek its head above and get slammed down. But also be careful of puts too, because look how long it could take. It can get above $41 and slowly grind up and then break down. So this may take a little bit longer than you expect. So if you're going for a 2-week play, be careful with your duration. Make sure you're not going to get eaten up by theta. Whoops. Like I'd feel much more comfortable buying calls down here rather than puts. But you have a nice range on Unity. And again, like this is a higher beta stock. You see beta, 1-year beta, 3.49. That's very high. So yeah, like if you were gonna do puts, okay, like I get it. I see the appeal. If I wanted to, I can look at January. Go to, let's track like 10 years. Do the lowest median. Like AMD might be a better month, or better stock. The short. Well, let's see. Wait, I think it's not going to pop up here because this is a pretty small market cap. Let me adjust this to like 10 billion. I'm sure you will pop up on here somewhere. Where is it? No, nothing. Not on here. Okay. Maybe it doesn't have 10 years of data. Yeah, that's why. Let's put this to like 3. What I could do is just go like this. Just look at Unity. Yeah, so as far as seasonality goes, okay, so like here's a good example of what's to come with Unity. So I'm going to put this to median return. Okay. If you're going to buy a put on Unity, look for February and March. And remember how I said that this stock could get to where it is right now, like $41 and slowly grind up? Well, these are weekly candles, right? Like from here to the time it broke above, which was like, let's look at June, for example. From the time it broke above in June until the time it broke back down and actually went down, that wasn't until July. So this was like a full month of just a slow grind up and choppy sideways action until it finally cracked down. So you could see something similar here where it just kind of, I'm not saying it's going to go higher, but it could just chop around here for a month, for like the month of January. And like with a put, you can get eaten up by theta. So you may be just looking at this data right here for February. 13% is the average drop in February for Unity. You may be better off buying a put for February. So I was looking at buying 30 days out and sell within 2 weeks. All right, so you're going to go with the lower duration. Be careful. Be careful. I don't like to really enter any options, like enter my trades under 45 days. I mean, you probably know my whole strategy and my plan. Um, be careful. Be careful. I mean, it could work out for you, but if it were me, I wouldn't put on the trade. I wouldn't put on that trade. It's not that it's not too risky. I mean, the good thing is with Unity, if you're going to do it, I would keep your position small. I mean, this is still an expensive contract, and you're talking a few $100. So I would keep it small if you're going to do it. Don't bet the family farm on it for sure. Like, play it safe, play it smart. But I could be wrong too. I mean, this thing could slam down next week, right? It got up to this upper end of the range, and now it's going to come down. So. Yeah, no problem. Let me get rid of that. Like, same thing here with Netflix, right? Like, Netflix, similar, right? Just because you get above 560 here back in 2021 doesn't mean you're going to start going down immediately, right? Like, it came up to this upper end of the range, and yeah, it came back down, but it chopped for like weeks. Chopped for weeks until it finally came back to its lower end. This is like a solid month of just choppiness until it finally came back to the lower end. So, stuff takes time in the markets. And that's why I like swing trading, because with day trading, you're fighting that choppiness all day. I mean, it's really a battle. And I know because I used to day trade and scalp. I mean, choppiness, randomness in the markets is so prevalent on a lower time frame. But it is still prevalent as a swing trader on a weekly or daily chart. It's still there too. So some people argue that all price is fractal, and I get that. Like, I understand that, but I just think swing trading is a lot easier because you have more time to process and analyze and make smart decisions. So I hope everyone had a good New Year's. Hoping to start this year off strong with Netflix. Like I was saying earlier, I am in no position right now. As of this weekend, no position. I will be in a position tomorrow morning. So the only reason why I didn't enter Netflix on the 29th, when I would usually enter my new trade, is just for tax purposes. That's all. So now that the new year has begun, the new tax year has begun, I can enter my new trade for Netflix. That's it. So I hope it's not confusing anyone. And yeah, I have no P&L right now. No profits to show right now, or losses. You guys know I show both. So So Netflix, I'm excited for, especially after a month like December, and seeing so many other stocks. Pretty much like all my stocks on my list, like everything on this whole watch list went up except for like LLY and I think like Microsoft. I think Microsoft was the other one that like kind of performed shoddy. But even Microsoft like is recovering already. So, but my hopes are Netflix. And if you guys look here, I didn't even notice this yesterday until, or not yesterday, last week until like today. I had this level drawn out. We bottom wicked perfectly off of this like 482 level, and I had this level marked. I think from the volume profile. It was either volume profile or I just marked it myself, just using a price. But I mean, it was a perfect, perfect entry right there too. Like I would have loved to scoop that up during my day on Friday, but again, I couldn't enter the trade. This channel is great for transparency purposes. Conversely, the fact you don't utilize a stop loss baffles me beyond belief. You could be so much more profitable. Well, I technically do use a stop loss. It's the amount I risk in my trade. I mean, like, I guess like a stop loss is more. It's useful for like futures trading. I understand that. Like, you need a stop loss for futures trading, and I understand. Like, I'm not knocking people who use stop losses on options. I just don't. Like, I just like to let my trade run free. Like, if you're not comfortable with losing 100% of your money that you put into a trade, you're risking too much right off the bat. That's just my thought. Like, that's why I think the way I think. Like, yeah. So, but listen, if you want to use a stop loss, use it. Like, I'm not gonna knock you for it, but me personally, like, I don't need it. I don't need a stop loss because my risk is my stop loss. That's all. Now, if I were futures trading or trading shares, I would definitely use a stop loss for sure. Because using those financial products, your risk isn't as defined. When I buy a call option for, let's say, $100, the most I can lose is $100. Right? But if I buy a futures contract, that's using margin, right? Like, let's say it's on, I don't know, ES. I think ES, the margin's like 10,000. Like, that's the amount you could lose if it goes against you. And you could lose even more. So yeah, you have to use stop losses in certain situations like that. But as far as options go, and here's the other thing. The other reason why I don't use stop losses is because I have tried to implement them in my back testing, and it reduces my reward by a lot. At least the way I trade and what I trade and how I trade, it reduces my reward by a lot, and it actually increases my risk because I'm missing out on those huge plays that come about, a couple times a year, right? So that's all. And like I wouldn't be saying this without backing up the data. And that's why I'm confident with saying I don't use stop losses on options, because I've back tested it. I've tried it. I've tried to let's like try to exit the trade at 50% loss, or let's try exiting the trade at 100% gain. Like, once you do that, yeah, you do lower your risk, but you lower your reward at the same time. So yeah. But if you use a stop loss, use it. Like, if you want that safety net, do it. The other thing with options are they're so volatile. Like, you could just have one bad day. Just one bad day in the market and your stop loss gets wiped out. You're out of the trade. And then all of a sudden the market recovers within a day or a couple days and it goes even higher. And then you missed out on that trade. So it's not for everyone. And I should probably do like a whole video on it, but it's a little controversial, like the way. But it makes sense. Like if you're using a stop loss because you want to manage your risk, that's cool. But if I want to enter a trade that I'm comfortable with losing 100% of, it's no different than using a stop loss. That is my stop loss. So, but it's a good discussion. I think it's important to discuss, and everyone's personalities are different. Everyone's risk tolerance is different. So, yeah. Hey, Sean. Happy New Year. And I'm not going to try to prove you wrong. Prove me wrong. I like your name. You're not wrong. And I'm not right either. No one's right or wrong. Only the market is right. Only the market knows. You and I, we don't know anything. We just put on we like to think well-measured bets in the market and hopefully make a profit. And we make more than we lose over, a 10, 20, 30-year period. That's the name of the game. So my only concern with Netflix for January are earnings. This can make or break. And we know from AMD, I caught this move on AMD. I entered on this day, October 31st. Earnings were great. Guidance, well, actually, the earnings were kind of in line, but the guidance was really good. Went up to almost 10% in one day. So hopefully, maybe that will happen with Netflix. If it doesn't, oh well. If I lose money, then I lose money. I like that. Only the market is right. It is. It's true. Like, if you think you're smarter than the market, you're going to just constantly lose money. You're going to constantly lose. I thought I was smarter than the market at one point. No one is. I'm doing a lot of studying with trading psychology and emotions and behavior, human behavior. It's kind of a newer topic. I understand it as far as trading goes, but I'm kind of doing more studying on it because it's quite interesting. And if you're had a bunch of money, right? Or let's say you put on a trade for $100 and that $100 is chump change to you. You're just going to let the trade run. You don't care. And if you don't, well, you do care, but you don't care if you lose. It's not going to, set you back huge, right? But if you had $10,000 in a trade and that's a lot of money to you, psychologically, that's going to affect you big time. And you're not going to be able to let the market do its work. And yeah, I believe that, there's only so much data we all have. We all have this data in front of us. There's only so much data we have. It comes to a point where you have to embrace the randomness that is always present in the market. And the only way you could do that is just manage your risk. Use a stop loss if you need to. Use only a certain amount of percentage in your account per trade, right? And if you do that, you're much more likely to you're going to be at ease mentally about the trade to the point where you're not going to really care if it goes up. I mean, you do want it to go up and make money. Of course, everyone wants that. That's the reason why the trade's on. But we want the trade to run and let the market do its work on the trade. Use expiration for stop. Use expiration for stop. That's so I would never use expiration as a stop because then you're just giving money away to option sellers because theta is just eating you up. So When you say expiration, do you mean like just like a day, like just like a time period? Like I'm putting this trade on for 14 days, and whatever it does, you know, I'm gonna follow my plan. You could see that, but I would never use an actual options expiration as my stop. I've never even heard of that before, but I think I see where you're coming from. But if it works for you, and you've tested it, hey, what do I know? You know more about it than I do. It's an awful lot of green for February or for January on Netflix. Awful lot of green. I've been kind of wondering if I could use median return instead of using the percentage of winning months. Just find the median return, because if you have a high median return for a certain month, most likely you're gonna have a good monthly performance behind that high median return. So I've been kind of wondering if I can play around with stocks and trade ideas that way. But I think looking at monthly performance is very important. But median return is also extremely important. Just because a stock goes up 100% of the time doesn't mean it goes up a lot. It can go up 0.5% for the past 10 years in January. And you think, and that's where the back testing and going into the options chain and actually making sure that what we're doing is real, very important. Back testing is like, if the numbers make sense, numbers make sense. That's it. Like, go with it. You need data to back everything up, in my opinion. Netflix is definitely in a V recovery right now. Nice V recovery. I really hope earnings are good. If we get good earnings, boy, this thing's gonna fly. Would you ever sell calls or puts? I used to. I used to do credit spreads like crazy and debit spreads. I just found them kind of boring. I don't naked sell. I'm not rich enough for that. And talk about risk. That's a risk I would probably never take, is sell. I mean, I guess you could do a wheel strategy if you have the cash, like cash secured puts or covered calls. I get that, but I think selling options is one of the riskiest things you can do. That's how you see these kids on like Reddit lose, like, go into like $1 million of debt because they got like assigned like 1,000 shares of Nvidia or something stupid. So you got to know what you're doing. Selling options is a whole nother animal compared to just buying. Comes with a lot of disclaimers. You got to really know what you're doing. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll sell calls and puts if I feel comfortable. But this market right now, with everything going on in the world and the markets and the amount of uncertainty out there, I'd rather lose like $100 on it. I'd rather lose going long on calls than getting wiped out on like a, I don't know, naked call, selling a call or put or something. I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable with that. Most of my trades are 2 to 4 days, 1.5% in stock, 30 to 40% in calls. Yeah. So you're going for the little gains, but more frequent. That's good though. It's smart. Do you have a certain stock that you trade consistently, or you just look all over the place? You're always looking at new ideas. I know a lot of guys, they like to pick like, 3, 4 stocks and just stick with those. That's cool. And you learn the personality of a stock. Every stock has its own personality, right? Like if the overall market's doing this, then this stock's gonna do this, right? Like, and you learn the stock. You become, very accustomed and used to it. I'm the same way. Like, I used to stare at the Bitcoin charts and altcoin charts for like years, literally years, and you learn the personality of certain assets over time. That's smart. You going for like the little plays? I mean, those 30-40% on calls, that's a nice return, especially if you're doing that, in a 2 to 4 day period. That's very good. Top 200 market cap. Some market darlings with liquid options. Okay. Yep. Sticking with the higher market cap stuff. That's why, like, whenever I do research and stuff and some people suggest certain stocks, they're kind of like, it's like the market cap's too low for me. And I'm not saying that there's liquidity issues when you go with a lower market cap, but something drastic to occur within a stock that has a lower market cap, the chances of that are much higher. So so tomorrow I will definitely post a video. I'm not going to trade live. I don't think I can really trade live. I'm probably not going to have much time. So I'm just going to put on the trade and then try to put out a video around lunchtime. If not, around like 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock, somewhere around there. Depends on how my day goes. But if anyone wants to know what I'm doing tomorrow, in the morning, I'm going to enter. Maybe I won't enter in the morning. Let's say stock market's selling off. I'll try to scoop up a lower price on Netflix. But I will be entering Netflix tomorrow. Again, going with the 45 Delta on the February 16th contract. And it will be 45 DTE tomorrow. Tech and healthcare priority. Okay, nice. Yeah, I mean, healthcare, like Abbott and Merck, they did great this December. So if you were in those, you probably did pretty well. And of course, tech. Yeah, tech's a no-brainer. So Netflix, hoping to get into this, and kind of hope we go down a little bit more tomorrow. I mean, we bottom wicked perfectly off that bottom. I actually want to look at the volume on this real quick. Let's see. Yeah, so we've been flat for a couple days now. Since December, and flat. It's like we broke above this 482 and we just have like a sell wall, like right above us. $500 is, and you know what? I'm going to mark this 500 level because that's a huge psych level right there. I should really have that marked out just to be aware of it. It's yellow. Yeah. Like that. Why does no one talk about AbbVie? I talked about AbbVie, but I think only once or twice. But yes, that one did pretty well too. Really well. Holy crap. I think I checked on AbbVie like within the first week. It was like the first or second week of December I checked AbbVie. Yeah, this thing ripped. I mean, the whole healthcare sector did pretty well. If we look at the XLV, which is the Spider Select Sector Fund for healthcare. I mean, hell, I should have just went into a XLV call. Just buy the whole sector for the month of December. I would have made what? 4%, which is a pretty good amount for this ETF. So yeah, it is what it is. It sucks when you lose and everything else is winning. But you know, listen, when like you got to remember when you make money in the markets, someone else is losing money. There's someone else on the other or multiple people on the other side of that of your trade losing money. Right? So when I lose, let's say in 1 month like I lost in December, someone else made money on me, right? Or multiple people made money on me. It's the way it works. That's why the markets are so difficult. Like you need to be aware that you're, trading against thousands of other people, if not millions of other people, with a lot more money than you and a lot more data and a lot more experience. So it's difficult. That's why this game is like not easy and most people wash out. And for good reason. I mean, it's hard. It's really hard. I mean, I started to see success this year, or in 2023. I started to find success. And I've been doing this for like, as far as trading goes, like trading options, because I was trying to day trade and stuff. And like once I switched over to swing trading and focused more on the data rather than the charts, I became profitable. But right now, but before that, it was just learn, lose. Like you really got to want it to be successful. So I think most people, if I told you guys what happened to me over the past few years, I think most people would have quit and moved on to something else by now. But, you have to have a passion for it. And usually the people who don't quit and become successful, it's because they have a passion for it. So I definitely have a passion for it. I went to school for this. I'm still going to school for this. I've been working in it professionally for many years, and I'm still learning. I learn something new every day. And that's why I'm like so transparent and always talking to you guys, because I learn from you guys too. I like to share what I know and learn from you guys. And I don't bash other people's strategies or try to, measure up or size up against other people. Like, no, because the second you do that, you're already going to lose. You're just putting bad karma on your back. So definitely got to stay humble. Got to stay humble. Yeah. So is anyone here going to be going into Fang or Marvel? Those were the other two guys I suggested. I think they have a good chance of going higher in January. I hope they go higher. I really don't like suggesting stocks that don't go your way. Kind of makes me feel crappy. That's why I'm was kind of hesitant to even that's why I asked you guys on the community little answer button thing, the little poll. I wanted to run it by you guys first, because I don't want to suggest stocks to you guys, and if they go against you, it's my fault. Originally, when I started this YouTube channel, I was just sharing my ideas or my trades and my trading plan. So you looked at Marvel, not interested. Yeah. I mean, listen, I could be wrong. I could be right or I could be wrong. If anything, do the opposite of what I say. You want to make money? If I suggest Marvel, then buy a put instead. Go be on the other side of the trade. You'll probably make good money. Hopefully what I said isn't true, but it is what it is. No one can predict the future. That's why I don't use indicators or anything, or all that stuff, it's all nonsense. You can have a piece of news come out tomorrow morning and the markets go up 10%. Like there's no technical analysis or even statistic or data that can, predict that. Conversely, the tiers of pricing is very helpful because I'm priced on Netflix. Yeah, and that's why that was like one of the main reasons why I did that, because I understand like not everyone can throw down that amount of money. Let me just do something real quick. I'm gonna close off my display because I see we've got okay. No, we're good. There we go. Yeah, that's why like Netflix $2,000 to enter this trade. Like, not many people have $2,000 laying around for a trade, so I try to be helpful to the masses. So. And I always suggest, you guys go on to like websites like Unusual Whales, look at seasonality, like look at other stocks, try to find your own ideas, look at, levels, mark out your own levels, kind of do your own research. You have to do your own research. You can't rely on someone to do the work for you. All I could do as someone who's putting out content on YouTube, all I can do for you is steer you in a better direction. And from there, you gotta move your own legs, All right, guys. So I'm gonna pack it up here early. I know it's New Year's. I appreciate you guys sticking around, hanging out for a little bit. Again, I'm gonna be posting a video tomorrow on Netflix, and I will be entering the trade in the morning. But I wanted to hop on tonight just to do a quick recap and a little discussion, a little chat with you all, hang out for a little bit, and yeah. So, thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you guys tomorrow, and good luck, and have a happy new year. It's 2024. We're going to have a great year, so I'm looking forward to it. All right, guys. Peace.